Hello, my name is Matthew Deringer, and this is my visual analysis final video project for our History 135. And today we're going to be talking about the Cologne Cathedral. This cathedral is very special to me because my parents actually visited it on a trip to Germany, and I feel like that gives me a big sense of connection to this place. Now, this picture on the right here is a picture of the Cologne Cathedral, and just looking at it, my first impressions were that it was really just this magnificent place that I'd like to visit one day. It towers above all of the surrounding buildings, and the uh, extremely ornate construction of the building implied that it was of a Gothic nature, and I turned out to be correct in my assumption. Moving on. The Cologne Cathedral began construction in 1248, but it didn't actually finish until 1880. Now, normally it doesn't take 600 years to build a cathedral. However, um, much like many other cathedrals that were being constructed at the time, especially in Germany, where something like the Protestant Reformation took place, the money coming from the church really dried up, and Catholic congregation really saw a decline because people were protesting the Catholic Church, turning away from it in favor of Protestantism, mainly Lutheranism in Germany, which is where Martin Luther is from. That being, it is a Catholic cathedral, so it has a patron saint, and that patron saint is Saint Peter. So the Cologne Cathedral is otherwise known as Saint Peter's Cathedral. It was built to house relics for Christians to make pilgrimages to. Its size was certainly a good marketing tactic as well. The or relics, I should say, that are housed within the Cologne Cathedral that we'll get to later is the bones of the three wise men that witnessed the Nativity. And fun fact, the Cologne Cathedral became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1996, which which secured extra funding for it for maintenance and repairs and setting up little exhibits within it to show its long and storied history. Now, the first element I want to show here is a Romanesque portal. So, being first constructed in 1248, this was a huge time where some Romanesque and not Gothic elements were popular at the time, this being the portal. This particular portal is in the front of the building, which contains tympanum, which sculpted within it contain both Old and New Testament stories. Some of these stories include the fall of man, Noah's Ark, Moses receiving the Ten Commandments, the Nativity, Jesus in the temple, and many more. The lintel, which is at the bottom of the tympanum, should show my mouse right here, includes images of the saints and apostles. I couldn't find a good list of them online. And the trumeau, which is this center column that separates the two tall doors, and sculpted within it is the Virgin Mary holding the baby Jesus as this sort of queen of the heavens, and she is standing on top of a snake. Obviously, in the story of the Bible and the story of creation, the snake was um, an allegory to the devil and of evil, and standing on that snake is symbolic of the heavens vanquishing evil. Uh, Going back to what I said earlier, this reliquary contains uh, the bones of the Magi that witnessed the birth of Christ. It was built between approximately 1180 and 1225, entirely covered or gilded in silver and gold. And this is a very intricate reliquary, one of the largest in the world. And on the front, it contains Um, a lot of the same stories as was on the tympanum. The sides, both left and right sides of the reliquary, are of the saints and other prophets throughout the Bible. And on the back, there is an image of Jesus, as well as Mary and the archbishop that oversaw the beginning of the construction of the Cologne Cathedral, whose name was Reinald of Dassel. Next are a handful of Gothic elements, those being flying buttresses, ribbed vaults, and stained glass. Now, flying buttresses and ribbed vaults were both used to raise the height of the nave even higher, which allowed for extra surface area on the walls for windows and to really fit that aesthetic of the interior of the church being like walking into a heavenly space. Very bright, very vast, something you couldn't even fully comprehend in a single pass through or even a single year of sermons. And the stained glass famously was used to supplement sermons because literacy was famously low during the Middle Ages, and having hundreds of images of Bible stories certainly helped the congregation when they were struggling to understand certain concepts. Next are radiating chapels. This became popular in the Romanesque period, although I feel like the Cologne Cathedral took it to an even greater extreme. Now, some of the other um, cathedrals that were constructed around this time period would only have 3 to 5 radiating chapels, but the Cologne Cathedral actually has 7. And currently, given that it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the nation of Germany considers it this great historical building, these radiating chapels no longer serve their original purpose of not for serving these pilgrims as they were making their trip across Europe to witness these relics. Instead, they're used as a place to display over the 700 years of accumulated paintings, furniture, and icons. We'll see a picture of this later because I actually went on a virtual tour of the Cologne Cathedral. It's on online, and I'd say thank you for watching. I included a picture of my parents on their trip there, and on the right is the virtual tour I went to. It's 360 stories of the Cologne Cathedral, and behind these fences are all of the um, paintings and furniture that I mentioned earlier. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something. Thank you.